On to our next topic. Let's talk about all of the Pokemon related news that we just recently got in the past week,
Yeah.
which will be a continuation of what we talked about last week with the found footage that we got last week. They actually released a new version of it, cleaned it all up so where you can actually uh, interpret everything that was on screen rather than it just be static throughout the whole thing and it cutting out here and there. We actually managed to get two new Pokemon forms.
Yeah, so we got Zorua and Hisuian Zorark, which are great. Unfortunately, I was wrong. It's not Poochyena.
Yeah,
Poochyena will forever stay in the depths of irrelevancy.
yeah. I mean, everyone was predicting that it was Zoroark.
Yeah.
The 706 707 hint that they gave out was kind of a tell.
Yeah, in hindsight, it definitely was. And
Ac-
honestly,
Actually,
yeah.
I'm trying to think. Is that even their numbers? Because I think Sit.
So 706 and 707 national dex wise is Gudra and Klefki. But in the Univadex, Zorua is 76 and Zoroark is 77.
Okay.
Yeah, national dex wise, it's not as
Because I was
relevant.
about to say that would be Jet 6 or 7.
Yeah, no. 706 and 707, national dex wise is Gudra and Klefki.
Okay. Now that makes more sense
Yeah.
because I was going on that tangent and then I stepped back. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. But now that because pretty much everyone was expecting like the fan art for Hisuian Zora and Zoroark before the final reveal
Yeah.
was everywhere. Really, the big tell was the round eyes because out of all of the fox and dog-like Pokemon, what do you
Yeah.
associate with round eyes?
Yeah,
It's Zoroark.
Zorua. And I actually learned this that there's been this Chinese Riddler leak that has come out. And this is the same person that back in the day when I believe it was Sun and Moon came out, he had leaked a whole bunch of accurate stuff. I believe he was the one that actually leaked the anime stills that showed Ash and Mallow with Incineroar, and this was back before we even knew what the final stage is. We didn't even know what the middle stages for the Alolan starters looked like, and this one straight up showed what Incineroar looked like. So it's the same guy, and he was doing a riddle. He's posted like how people do out of context spoilers and a bunch of random pictures. So he's doing that with this with Pokemon Legends Arceus and a bit of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. But for the riddle for this was a picture from One Piece, and it was the characters of Zoro and Perona. Now, I'm a huge One Piece fan, and so the riddle was basically Zoro because Zoroark, but also because Zorua and Zorak are normal ghost type, Zoro is like a normal person, while Perona, she was on the haunted ship Thriller Bark, which has a whole like spooky Halloween theme going on within One Piece. So it was a pretty good hint. Especially if you're a fan of One Piece, you were pretty much able to pick it up.
Okay, which also transitions to the next part of it. It's the typing for the two new Pokemon forms.
Yeah.
Normal Ghost, which
It's a phenomenal typing.
yeah, which means that it's only weak to dark types.
Yeah, it's only weak to dark. It has three immunities in normal, ghost, and fighting, and two resistances in the form of bug and poison.
Yeah, which pretty much nullifies the opposite typing super effective hits.
Yep. So with a dark type, I mean, Generation 8 so far has been the generation for ghost types. Since Pursuit has been removed, you have Spectrier, Dragapult, Gengar, Chandelure. You have ghost types that are just Alolan Marowak. They're able to just like run wild throughout the metagame. And now Hisuian Zorark is probably gonna join that in terms of if it has similar stats, but just switched around so maybe it has better defenses and a decent like attacking stat,
Or
it'll
maybe,
probably be good.
yeah, I was about to say maybe it prioritizes more of a physical attack rather than a special attacker because I know that's pretty common among Zoroark sets.
Yeah, most Zorark are special attackers, but maybe it is physical attacking because I mean it's probably going to have a signature move. And maybe the signature move is throwing out like a shadow-like beast that like physically hits you, like the shadow beast that came out to the guy that was filming them.
Yeah. Are we still convinced that guy is dead?
So everyone says that you can hear his footsteps running away. I choose to believe that he is dead, considering that the lore, and if you looked on the Pokemon Company website, the lore for Zorua and Zoroark, in terms of their Hisuian forms, is that Zorua and Zoroark came to Hisui after being attacked by humans in another region, and then come into this region. The Zorua couldn't really survive the environment as they were hurt not just by people but by other Pokemon.
Right.
So, and then Zoroark is its evolved form and it's very protective over Zoruas, and it's a very violent Pokemon. So I like to believe, lore-wise, it definitely killed him, as it's in keeping with how territorial it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't his footsteps.
I mean, who knows? I mean, some people say it was his footsteps running away. Maybe that's just his body, like, hitting the ground and kind of rolling a bit. Who knows? We never see him again. We'll probably never see him again.
I mean, it's just a trailer, so
Yeah,
probably just random NPC 43. So
yeah. But overall, I really liked it. I also did like the neat tidbit that the reason the video was at staticky at first was because it was recently found in present-day Canalave City. And so then they called Professor Oak, which is actually pretty funny because in Platinum, Professor Oak is in Sinnoh. He has a house in Eterna City.
right,
So it would make sense they could call Oak
because
to come to Canalave.
because in Platinum he's the one that leads you to the three Kanto birds, right?
Yeah, he leads three Kanto birds, and he's a part of the Shaman event in the sense that the way to access, I believe I think it's the Sebring, not Sebring path, the Flower path, whatever it is that you can use to find Shaman, you need Oak's letter.
Right.
That's the item you need to access Shaman in Diamond Pearl Platinum. So it makes sense that Oak would be the person that they would call to Canalave City to fix the Arceus phone. So I thought that bit of lore was just like a neat little tidbit about the fact that, yeah, Oaks and Sinnoh.
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. Switching gears from Legends Arceus, we could talk about Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and the new trailer that came out.
Yeah, that came out in the past day, if I'm not mistaken.
It came out about 2 minutes before the Hisuian Zorua and Zoroark trailer that dropped today.
Okay. Yeah, that was
I mean, not today, yesterday.
okay. Yeah, it was a pretty good trailer. I mean, pretty much it shows everything that anybody who's a fan of Gen 4 would already know. Not really any new information, mostly geared to. It really seems like it was more geared to people who've never played it before.
Oh yeah, it definitely gave the vibe that this is for like the newer players, kind of like how they advertise the remakes of other games. Like I saw it akin to how they show off remakes to like the Final Fantasy games, in the sense that like veteran players know all this information, but this is for the new players.
Yeah,
And
which that might just be a marketing scheme with all remakes.
yeah, I do like the models for Team Galactic for um, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Cyrus.
Right.
What do you think of Chibi Cyrus and the fact he has no nose?
I was still getting over the fact he has no eyebrows.
Wait, he doesn't. Did he have eyebrows in the original?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Oof.
Either way, they looked like Super Saiyan 3 eyebrows, and I was like, that kind of put me off a bit. That's what caught my attention from that.
I saw that. See, I just like the way that he looks because he's just like default, like he's like the default like mean face character, but just seeing him in like a chibi style, just I don't know. I find it hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
Which
yeah.
I was never opposed to the chibi style, but honestly, the more I look at it, the more I welcome it.
Yeah. We also got to see Volkner and Candace,
Yeah.
which okay. So there's been a lot of discourse surrounding the fact that Volkner, because so far when they've showed off the gym leaders, they've shown or not just gym leaders, any major character in the trailer, they show their aces. Now, in Diamond and Pearl, Volkner's ace was Luxray, but in Platinum, his ace was Electivire. For Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, they show that his ace is Luxray. So some people are fearing he's going to have his Diamond and Pearl team, where it's a Raichu, an Ambipom, an
And
Octillery,
Octillery.
and then Luxray, instead of the Jolteon, Raichu, Electivire, and Luxray. So
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think
Because
that they're actually going to go and pull Octillery and Ambipom?
because what was the main difference between the teams besides Octillery? What did they replace him with?
They replaced Octillery with Jolteon and Ambipom with Electivire.
Yeah. Honestly, there's enough there to fix that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, maybe they do it as a joke, but I don't see it happening.
I don't know. Because some people are also fearing, because it wasn't just Volkner that suffered from not having enough Pokemon of his type. Candace used a Medicham. Bertha used a Sudowoodo. And infamously, Flint used a Lopunny, Driflim, and a Steelix, despite being the Fire type Elite Four member. So some people are really afraid that they're taking it literal when they say that this is going to be like a 1-to-1.
Honestly, I don't mind if it is.
But in terms of team structure, I don't think they're gonna go for it because they've already shown Pokemon that weren't in the original Diamond Pearl Platinum decks. I mean, you can find Sentrets in the underground. And Sentret is not only a Pokemon you can't catch normally in the Diamond and Pearl decks, you couldn't even catch it normally in the Platinum decks until after the main game, and I think it was only during swarms in a specific route. Like, it was very rare to find a Sentret in the wild, yet you can find it in the underground now.
Do you think they're going to use Diamond Pearl, the remix? Do you think they're going to use that game to filter in the rest of the missing Pokemon from Gen 8?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's only some Pokemon that would be missing after. We'd be missing some Gen 5 Pokemon, like, I believe it's like Deerling and Sawsbuck, some Gen 7 Pokemon like Crabominable. But we'd be getting back Pokemon like Gliscor, we'd be getting, what's its name? There's another Pokemon that I am just forgetting that's from Sinnoh. Oh, the Sinnoh starters, obviously. Like Gliscor, the Sinnoh starters, the Mythicals, Manaphy, Darkrai, Shaman, Arceus. I mean, we could even get Deoxys, probably.
I'm just waiting to transfer over my shiny Chatot. That was my first shiny.
Really?
Yeah.
All my shinies that were like of note are in the game. I think like one of the only shinies I haven't sent over is like my shiny Superior.
Yeah, because I got a shiny. The frustrating part is keeping your shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Home and then not being able to transfer them over. Because I've got both a shiny Chatot and a shiny Infernape ready to go, and they're just sitting there.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be brought back. I mean, we know there's going to be Pokemon Home support.
Yeah.
So, one thing. Do you think we're going to get new forms for Dialga and Palkia? In this game or Legends Arceus?
I would prioritize them in the remakes, honestly.
I think we probably will get a new form for Dialga and Palkia.
Because we did get the primal reversions and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
I think we may get something like, because there's a leak going around that says we will probably get Origin form Dialga and Palkia using their Adamant and Lustrous orbs, a la Giratina with the Greasius orb. Which, I mean,
could be interesting.
It could be interesting. I mean, who's to say that Dialga and Palkia, when they're in our world, are at the same level of power as they would be in their own home dimension? Yeah. And then in Pokemon Legends Arceus, there's the rumor going on that there's going to be an Arceus form. And
better be a combination of all 17 plates. I swear. It's gotta happen.
Yeah. The theory goes that, like, every move that I think like there's this one move that it'll use that will always do normal damage regardless of what type it is.
Hmm. Or we finally get to see what it looks like with its 1,000 hands.
Some people are thinking that the beta Arceus, back from when the Diamond Pearl beta leaked, is going to be the form.
Really? I haven't had a look at that one.
Um, it's creepy.
Does it have 1,000 hands? Because if it doesn't, I'm not interested.
Well, then, yeah, it doesn't have 1,000 hands, but it's like,
Because they specifically bring that up in the Pokedex multiple times, and I want to see what Arceus looks like with 1,000 hands.
okay, I think that was a figure of speech. Because I believe the hands are in reference to the unknown, as unknowns are spawned whenever Arceus shows up. And I think the unknowns are symbolic of its hands.
That's not as fun. That's not as fun, and I reject that symbology. I reject it wholeheartedly.
Fine. Reject the lore. But yeah. So do you think we may get an Arceus form in Pokemon Legends Arceus?
I'd be down for it. Based on how they've been handling most, like the most recent remake, I think it'll happen.
Yeah. So like I said that there's a leak going around. The leak is saying Dunsparce gets a Hisuian form.
Good. We've been asking for a Dunsparce evolution for the longest time.
Except it's not a dragon, it's gonna be a steel type.
That would be interesting, actually.
Yes.
Considering that it has that pathetic little drill for a tail. So I can actually see it.
Imagine this new Dunsparce thing is a new Dunsparce form is a thing. You transfer it to Sword and Shield, and it's like an Uber level Pokemon. Like not just Uber level Pokemon in singles, it's also like Incineroar Landorus level in doubles.
I mean, it is for one of the most pathetic Pokemon in existence. It is unreasonably rare.
Yeah, it is actually kind of rare. I
Like,
remember actually, yeah, in Fire Red and Leaf Green, the only way you could catch Dunsparce was if you help some random guy on, I think, 3 Island tunnel his way across the island so he can find this one rare patch of grass with Dunsparce in it.
and I'm pretty sure, like in the wild, it has less than a 10% uh,
Chance of
chance to
appearing.
find it.
You're right.
So I would welcome it just because of how they've handled him in the past, and just how unreasonable the reward is for trying to find one.
Yeah. What do you think of the possibility of getting new evolutions for Oshawott, Cyndaquil, and Rowlet?
Now that is something I have never thought about. Is that really something going around?
Yeah, so people are believing that we're going to get a Water Dark like final form for Oshawott, a Fire Ghost type for Cyndaquil, and a Grass Flying. I believe it's Grass. No, Grass Flying. I think Grass Fighting for Rowlet.
See, that I'm more hesitant to accept. I I don't know. Split evolutions for starters. Well, I would have to see it once in order to accept it, but taking it in months before the game comes out, I cannot visualize it.
Like on one hand, I am excited because I like. On one hand, I want it to happen because I like the addition of new Pokemon because I always like to see how they'll just end up in a metagame just to see like no matter how like because metagames change significantly just by the addition of potentially like one Pokemon. Like Black and White 2 got warped the moment Keldeo showed up. So like I would love to see like new starters. But on the other hand, it would then open the door for a whole bunch of Pokemon to now get new split evolutions. Cause yeah, but on the other hand, Game Freak isn't shy from prioritizing certain Pokemon within the starters of getting special forms. I mean, Charizard gets 2 megas, Blaziken got his mega first, Greninja gets Ash Greninja, and yeah, so yeah, and plus Typhlosion, Samurott, and Typhlosion and Samurott aren't as popular as Decidueye, so
Yeah,
I mean, Samurott especially, so they deserve some love. I think it'd be pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, they also say that there's going to be a Hisuian, Entei Raikou, and Suicune, kind of following in the path of the Galarian, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. What do you
Hmm.
think about that?
See, that is pushing expectations a bit high, in my opinion. Like,
Hmm.
it would be cool, mostly because, again, we got the Galarian birds this gen.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, again, if it comes out, it'll probably be pretty good, but I just can't see it happening.
Yeah, that one is pushing it in my eyes. Like the Dunsparce, I could see. The starters, I could see. The legendary dogs, though,
Yeah, because I mean, who was expecting Basculegion?
yeah, no one was expecting Lascal Legion. No one was expecting Weirdur or Cleavor or even Hisuian Braviary. Speaking of which, do you think we'll get a Hisuian Mandibuzz? They are counterparts.
That, yeah, yeah, I would take it.
But then again,
Because what typing
yeah,
is Hisuian Braviary?
I believe it's Psychic Flying.
Okay.
So it's like Sigilif.
Hmm. What typing do you think it could be if we do get one?
Um, I think it'd still be a flying type, but
Pretty much, yeah.
maybe it would be like
Maybe rock?
maybe it would be the yeah, maybe rock, maybe fighting. I
Yeah.
mean, what types would vultures be? I could only really see him being like
Rock or
rock,
ground?
rock, ground, or maybe fighting, but mainly rock or ground flying types. Um, oh yeah, what do you think of the platinum clothes being available in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl?
It's a small touch that we didn't need, but honestly, as someone who played Platinum first, I do appreciate it.
Yeah. Wait, you didn't play Diamond and Pearl first?
No, Platinum was my first game.
Oh, my first game was Diamond.
Really?
Yeah. Because when I was in middle school, Gen 4 was the new hotness. Um, yeah. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, and then the Hisuian Zorark mask in Legends Arceus.
Huh.
You didn't see it?
I did not see that.
Yeah, you can get it. It's a similar pre-order bonus for like the platinum clothes.
Okay.
I think it's pretty cool, and I'll probably have my character wear it.
Okay.
Yeah. But overall, I'm looking forward to these two games. I think that they're gonna be pretty good. Like I think Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is gonna be solid. Maybe not surpassing the likes of Heart Gold, Soul Silver in the eyes of the fans, but I think it'll be solid. But Legends Arceus, I think it's really gonna break the mold.
Yeah. Especially, I do want to reflect your opinions on Diamond and Pearl because everyone's been hyping this game. This is a lot of people's first game, and I think people are setting their expectations way too high. I mean, this is probably going to be an amazing game,
Yeah,
regardless of people's opinions going in, but I am afraid of the backlash due to people setting their expectations really
yeah,
high for a game that they can still play.
yeah. And I mean, some people really just want the platinum elements being incorporated, which I think there probably will be.
Like they probably would, probably because I believe the Diamond and Pearl Battle Frontiers only had like the Battle Tower,
Yeah,
and then Platinum added the four additional
yeah,
Frontier facilities.
yeah. And there are some platinum aspects that we've seen, such as the the Grasadia Flower Lady is in Floroma Town, and also, despite the Galactic Building in Eterna City looking like the Diamond and Pearl variant, the picture is missing in the top left corner because in Platinum, that's where you can find the room with the Rotom appliances, and in Platinum the picture was missing. So potentially they will still have
Because
Platinum.
you can't really leave out the Rotom forms.
Yeah, you really can't. Unless they want to make you find it in the old chateau, and dear God, I don't like going in there because of the two fucking ghosts. Yes, I know they're sprites, but dear God, they're still fucking creepy. Uh, yeah. And then also the POW Park. POW Park has a new design on the map. There's a bunch of caves and huts you can go into, which,
Because before the Pal Park was a way to bring in Pokemon from the GBA games.
yeah, but now that Pokemon Home exists, and you can send Pokemon from Pokemon Go into Pokemon Home, what is the POW Park going to be?
Because you can't turn it into another Safari Zone.
I think it's going to be a wild area type place.
That would be interesting because the I forget which town it's in, but the Safari Zone
Astoria
exists.
City.
That was it. Yeah, the Safari Zone exists, and my opinions on that are mixed.
What, you didn't like the Safari Zone?
They're always mixed experiences.
Fair. I will say the Sinnoh Safari Zone was definitely sometimes hit or miss because of how often you can get stuck in the marsh.
See, I wasn't even bothered by that, but that is a small element of my disdain for it.
The one thing I hope they do improve is the walking through snow. Because getting to Snowpoint City in Gen 4 is one of the biggest drags on the planet because you can just get stuck in snow. You gotta wiggle your character out, take 2 steps, get stuck in snow again. And then a trainer stops you. And then you finally get out of the snow, and then you get ambushed by like 100 snowbird.
Yeah, it definitely was a hassle to get over there.
Yeah. Overall, I'm excited for these games. I probably will pick them up on release date, as is my tradition of getting Pokemon games on release date ever since Black and White 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're done with that